Welcome to Sodor Memories, where you can learn more about all your favorite island friends. Thomas, Gordon, James, Edward, Percy, and Henry all want to share with you their favorite memories on the island of Sodor. Each engine will tell you about a time they'll never forget, a time when they were very useful, and because no engine is perfect, a time when they were not so useful. To play, use the direction buttons on your controller to highlight a friend. Then, press the Enter button to hear all about their favorite memories.
Hi, I'm Thomas, and I can't imagine a better place than the island of Sodor. I have so many great memories. Would you like to hear some of them? Use your direction buttons on your controller to highlight one of my favorite memories, and then press the Enter button. I'll never forget the day I wanted to go fishing. I always look forward to the sight of the river, but was told that engines don't fish. I ran out of steam that day, and my driver had to fill my tank with river water. But something was wrong, and there was too much steam. Fish were found in my tank that must have come from the river water. Sir Topham-Hatt and the inspectors had to fish all of the fish out of my tank. Now I know why engines don't go fishing. It's too uncomfortable. I remember a time when James had an accident and I helped get his trucks where they needed to go and took James back to the shed. And because I was so useful, look what happened. One day, winter had arrived on the island, and I was upset because I didn't want to wear my snowplow. I banged my snowplow so much that it wouldn't fit, and I had to ride the rails without it. I ended up stuck in a pile of snow, and Terrence had to come to my rescue, and Bertie had to take my passengers back to the station. I learned a very valuable lesson that day, and now I always remember to wear my snowplow when it snows. Hi, I'm Gordon, and I am the fastest engine on Sodor. I have some really great memories of my time on the island. I will tell you about the time I'll never forget. The time when I was a really useful engine, and of course, a time when I was not so useful. To hear my favorite memories, use the direction buttons on your controller to highlight what memory you'd like to hear. Then, press the Enter button. I'll never forget when Henry helped pull a train when Edward and I just couldn't do it alone one day. Just watch as they worked together to get the job done. That is how the three of us became great friends. I remember when Thomas, another Blue Main Line engine like myself, started teasing me because he thought he worked harder. But watch closely when I showed him that I am the fastest and that being cheeky never really pays off. I like to show the other engines how strong and fast I am, which sometimes leads me into trouble. I once was ready to make fun of Henry because he was all bricked up in a tunnel, but learned that really useful engines don't make fun of their friends. Hi, I'm James, the most splendid engine on the island of Sodor. Don't you think my red paint shines? I've many great memories to share with you. Use the direction buttons on your controller to highlight the splendid memory you'd like to hear and press Enter to begin. A splendid engine like myself should pull coaches, and I'll never forget the first time Sir Topham-Hatt asked me to pull the express coaches after Gordon fell ill. It's sometimes really hard pulling troublesome trucks, especially up Gordon's Hill. But watch what happens when a splendid engine like myself puts all my might into a job. I learned a very important lesson when I first began pulling coaches. I was too rough with them, and it ended up breaking my brake pipe. Look at what they had to do to fix it. I'll never do that again. Hi, I'm Edward, the #2 Blue Engine. I've been on the island for a long time and have many fond memories I'd like to share with you. To hear my favorite memories, use the direction buttons on your controller to highlight a special memory and then press enter to select. I'll never forget when the other engines were stubborn and I helped the coaches while Thomas was away. I remember when Gordon got stuck at the bottom of his hill when he was pulling a bunch of coaches. I was asked to help him up the hill, and that's just what I did. I really didn't feel that useful when Sir Topham told Percy, Thomas, and I to go play on the branch line. I'd rather be working hard. Hi, my name is Percy, and I'm the #6 engine on the island. Would you like to hear some of my favorite Sodor memories? Use the direction buttons on your controller to highlight one of my favorite memories and press enter to begin. I'll never forget when Sir Topham brought me to the yard to help shunt the coaches. I was so excited. My first holiday on the island was very special. I felt really useful helping Mrs. Kindly get to the Christmas party. Watch what happened. One day, I was so eager to work, but I was rather careless and forgot to whistle. Gordon didn't hear my whistle, so he nearly ran into me and gave me such a scare that I ran rushing up Gordon's Hill backwards and had no driver to help me stop. Because I had no driver to help me stop, I ran into a huge pile of dirt. But luckily, I was okay, and now I'm most careful when I go on the main line.
Hi, my name is Henry, and I'm the long and fast #3 engine. I've made so many friends on the island of Sodor, and they have all given me very great memories. To hear my favorite memories, use the controller to highlight what you'd like me to tell you, and press enter when you're ready to begin. I'll never forget how good I felt after they changed my coal to special Welsh coal. It was wonderful. I remember when Gordon ran out of steam and couldn't pull the express coaches, and I had to help out and was a really useful engine. Sir Topham asked me to help Edward do it, and, well, look at what happened. One time it was raining, and I'd just gotten a fresh coat of paint. To make sure I kept my paint shiny, I found the nearest tunnel and stayed where it was dry and warm. Unfortunately, I didn't want to come out, and because I was so stubborn, just look what Sir Topham did.